spring of 2020, an evil virus gripped the earth. Comedians were swept off the stage and enslaved in a prison named Zoom. After many months in the Zoom, one comedian decided to do his stand-up standing up in his cell for no one.
I want to say, let's have a drink. Let's start this off with a beverage. I want to cheers you guys. Cheers myself. Tonight's beverage. You know I'm a Jack Daniels man. You know that's what I drink. But I bought a bottle of Bullet because I wanted it to feel special. I want you to feel pretty. I want you to feel special. I'm treating you like a special lady tonight. Oh, it's 8 o'clock. They're doing the cheering for our first line heroes. So to those people, thank you guys very much for everything that you do. That's a funny thing too. During this quarantine, like at the beginning of it, the frontline heroes 8 o'clock cheer, like everybody was like. But it's so funny because like you'd see the videos from New York and Italy and stuff, and this shit went on, and everybody was into it, and it'd go on for like 2, 3, 5, 10 minutes. Like, LA was incredibly LA about it. It was a big night if it lasted 15 seconds. And back to me. So, oh, look what's here. It's here. I don't know how much I'm going to use it. Last time I did one of these, I didn't use it very much. I thought I would use it all the time. So going into this, let's get started, because here's the thing. These jokes, I have to tell you, this is my first time. I've done these jokes a lot. I've worked these out. I've done a lot. But this is my first time actually doing these jokes, standing up. This is my first time doing these standing up. Every other time that I've done these, it's been in a Zoom show. So I've done them sitting down. Just like, and Zoom, listen, let's talk about Zoom versus real stand-up, because this is a debate. This is a conversation that me and other comedians have quite frequently about, because some of them are just like, I'm done with Zoom, which I totally fucking understand. Because let's be honest, Zoom shows versus real stand-up, it's like using a condom made of Legos. It'll get the job done, but nobody's really enjoying it. Nobody's getting off. You know, you're just kind of just doing it because if you don't do it, you feel like you might die. But I do it in the Zoom shows. Let me tell you about my very first Zoom show. I want to tell you guys about the very first Zoom show that I did. It was for Adam Hunter, who is a marvelous comedian, great friend. You guys know him, but he's gotten very good at Zoom shows, and I have as well. But I mean, so the first one, so when I did his Zoom show for the Dime Bar, it was the second one they'd ever done. And think about this. In the beginning, we didn't know. People were Zoom bombing them. People just started fucking jerking off and shit. And no one could tell how audible they were to the show. They didn't realize that they were just as loud as the comedian. So the first one they did, there was a lot of people talking. You know, you'd get a lot of, no, it's right there. No, the other, right there, right there. No, the other. Through the whole fucking show. So Adam decided to turn off all the mics so that you couldn't hear anyone except the speaker. He failed to tell the comedians that there would be no sound. Now, also, this being my first Zoom show, I had set it up like regular stand-up. I wanted to do it like this, and I'd set it up using my phone. And not knowing how it worked, I was trying to scroll to find gallery, and right as they introduced me, I got stuck on speaker page. So I'm performing to me with an inset picture also of me and no laughs, doing all new material. Immediately the flops went, I'm trying to, I'm like, it was the worst, okay? And now, here's the thing though, while they couldn't make any sound, the comments were enabled. And now the comments start scrolling. So all I see is me, but now the comments. First comment, this guy's a legend. Right? And I'm like, yes, yes. It's been said. I don't say it. I don't say it. But it's been said. Next comment, this guy, and then all caps, sucks dick. Now, it was a mixture of sweat and a little tears, like some tears, mostly sweat. Total internal implosion. And I literally, I think I was 2.5 minutes in, and I just stopped and I was like, guys, I had my reservations about whether or not this is going to work. And I think I realized now I'm going to stick to the real thing. And I was just like, that's it. I'm Greg Ramel. Good night. And I quit at like 2.5 minutes. And that was it. And I was so hurt. I was so hurt. Like, I had booked like 3 or 4 other Zoom shows at that point, and I immediately messaged everybody, canceled all of them. Like, you know what? I will wait for the real thing. Send. I was devastated. But then I woke up the next morning, I was like, you know what? This is the new reality. You adapt or die. You got to fucking adapt. And so I made a point to go back and, do all the things that I tell other comedians to do. Focus on the writing and the punchline dominance and everything like that. The structure and make sure. And it came together and it got a lot better. But the hardest part was mastering act outs and the Zoom thing. But now, tonight, for the first time, I'm taking those jokes out of the Zoom and I'm putting them here. On Facebook and Instagram Live, or it might be Facebook and Instagram Live. I don't really remember which one's which, but here they are. These are the jokes. But it is nice to be back. This has been a strange event. Obviously, this has been an incredible, unprecedented event. Nobody saw it coming. Nobody knows what to do with it, and it's strange what you can get used to in these times. Because I never thought I could get used to the sound of helicopters. But after a while, I gotta admit it got kind of cold. I got used to it. It was kind of like a ceiling fan. I got used to the... I was just like, we're still out there. Fight the power. And that's the thing, with the protests, I knew the quarantine was too easy. I knew it was too easy. When people started protesting about not getting a haircut, I knew it was too easy. Okay? This is not, the universe was, there's no way this was our punishment. It was such a modern American punishment. It was essentially the universe going, go to your room. But in your room, you have 3 video game systems, 900 channels, and every food delivery service, plus social media and games on your phone. It's unlimited. What kind of punishment is this? I knew it was too easy. And then the protests broke out. Oh. And that's the thing. I had just gotten my drinking under control. Because I don't know about you, but when this shit went down, I was like, all bets are... You're probably looking at me right now and thinking, Greg, you're pretty fat right now. And you're not wrong. You're not wrong. The camera isn't adding 10 pounds. The fucking pandemic added fucking 30 pounds. Because I was like, fuck this. No way. Listen, if I'm going out, I'm not going out on a salad. Okay? Fuck your salad. I'm having pizza for breakfast. I'm having fried chicken for lunch. And I'm washing it down with a hoagie for dinner. I'm not fucking... You're not going to take me to get intubated. And they're going to be like, what was the last thing you ate? Well, he had a kale salad and 12 almonds. Fuck you. I want the first thing to come out of me to be a half a pint of fucking bourbon. But then, it dragged on. You get 4 or 6 weeks deep into this thing. And I'm like, you know what? I'm fucking fat as shit. I think maybe I should probably try and get this under control. I think, I don't feel real healthy right now. Like my foot would go to sleep for no reason. That had to be the salt. I don't know. But I was like, I'm getting fucked up. So I just started getting it under control. Then fucking shit went fucking crazy. Okay, and listen, it had to. It was time, and I totally support Black Lives Matter. Absolutely, 1,000% behind it. But it was weird because where I live is just blocks away from 3rd and Fairfax. Okay, we're not that far from 3rd and Fairfax. And where you remember in that first night that Saturday when it actually turned into riots. Okay, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm watching the news and I'm looking out the window. I'm watching the news and I'm like, is it coming down our street? Is it coming down our street? And that's the thing, like, and then you're watching the news and then the looting starts, right? The looting starts and I'm watching, I'm like, no, guys. Oh, no, this is what they are. Fuck. Huh. When am I going to get this opportunity again? I mean, I'm never going to shop at Supreme Retail. Like, this is a rare moment in history. What am I doing here? I need to be out there getting my piece. But I didn't do it. I stayed home. I watched everything rage. So it was very stressful. The drinking shot back up. And I gotta say, with the protests, again, nothing but love, nothing but support, 1,000% behind it. But if I had one complaint, one little, more walking, really? We gotta walk some more? Like, I mean, all we've done for the last 8 weeks is go on walks, you know? We can't protest on jet skis or something. We can't do this at a skate park. Like, how can we make this a little bit, you know, fucking more? That was the thing. God damn. Let's go back to the quarantine, because the quarantine, that was the thing. Those walks, that was like all we had to do. I felt like we were the Jews who just left Egypt. You know? Because if you think about it, like, we all got laid off at the same time. And now we were just standing out in front of our homes just like, oh, you wanna take a walk or something? Or, I guess we could just walk for the next 40 years. I don't know about you, I'm gonna follow that cloud. See where that takes me. See if it takes me around the block a few times. And that was the thing, when it came to the protests, I mean, I think the funniest part of the protests had to be the Democrats. Okay, here they are. I mean, they're given a gift. Okay, this is your leg up. This is your moment. And did you see these motherfuckers with the fucking African cloth around the... You fucking... Leave it to the Democrats to fumble at the goal line. You know there's no way Kamala was at the planning meeting for that. There's no way. She had to have been busy doing something else, right? And then she shows up for the photo the last second, and they're all putting on their fucking, what are they, fakitis, like the little Nefertiti, I don't know. But they're all putting on their African, you know when she walked, I was like, what the fuck is this, guys? And they're like, solidarity. And I can only imagine just how hard she swallowed in that, like, all right, give me the fucking, you look at the picture, go back and look at the picture. She's all the way in the fucking back. She's like, I'm gonna need oh, that shit was fucking embarrassing. Trump handled it well. Trump's done. This guy, all of his ideas sound like evil Coke talk. You know how when you do Coke with somebody and you come up with like ideas that you think are fucking genius, right? You ever have somebody call you the next day or like a week later to follow up on Coke talk? They're like, hey man, we're gonna start that rental company. And you're like, the fuck are you, what? Dude, that was coke talk. We're not gonna fucking do that. But that's what everything Trump does sounds like evil coke talk. Like him and Stephen Miller are just sitting around just blowing lines. And just like, it's like, you know, Trump's like, so what do we got? What's coming up? And Stephen Miller's like, it's fucking Juneteenth. I got it. Let's have a rally in Tulsa on Juneteenth. And Trump's like, you evil motherfucker. I fucking love it. It's unreal. What do we have? Gay Pride Month? Oh, I got a good one done. Take away trans rights on the first day of Pride Month. You crazy. It's unreal. You can't write it. If you wrote it, people would be like, nah, it's too on the nose. It's too blatantly evil. He's like a James Bond villain, but not from like the current James Bond movies, from like the 80s James Bond movies. Anyways, but yeah, we used to go on, and this is the quarantine. I knew it was too easy. Because a lot of people were complaining about it. But I'll be honest with you, that whole quarantine, even now, I'm kind of living my best life. Like, I'm kind of having, I mean, it's kind of exactly the way I was living before, but without the guilt. Like before, I would smoke weed and lay around and watch TV, and in my heart, I'd be like, Greg, you need to go to the gym. You need to get up. You need to fucking go to the gym. Now, it was like, whatever you do, Greg, don't you even fucking think about going to the gym. It's a crime. You need to lay here and do nothing to save the world. And I was like, I've been training my whole life for this. And I really have. And that was the thing, everyone's like, you gotta stop smoking weed, okay, because the COVID and attacks you. Like, I'm pretty far down the road here. I'm pretty sure stopping now isn't gonna be the difference maker, okay? I'm 30 years in. There's no saving it now. But there was no guilt. I fucking loved it. And that's the thing, and it was easy because I'm old. I'm old and I'm married. I get this would be horrible if I were young and single. If I were young and single, I would have broken quarantine like a million fucking times. I would be that idiot. And in my mind, like trying to hook up during all this is probably like it used to be in the 90s, you know, with AIDS. Like you would have the same conversation where it's like, well, when you were trying to get a girl to not want to use a condom, you know? And you could just be like, well, I'm clean. Are you clean? Like, we're clean. Let me just come over. I've been symptom free since 93. Let's fucking do it. I would have broken quarantine so many fucking times. It would have been awful. And that's the thing, like, that was you know, it was very different. In the 90s, we had HIV, but with HIV, they were like, well, listen, you know, the only way you can get it is by having sex. Which sucked. We're like, what? They took away the single greatest thing we have in the human experience. That's the best. That's everything in our life is geared towards, like everything. Everything. We work out so we get girls who want to, we drive a nice car so we get the, everything. I want to be in movies so chicks see me and want to, I mean, it's all about blah. And then they're like, you can't, because we'll kill you. So in the 90s, we're like, fuck, well, what's the next best feeling? Heroin? Great, I'll do heroin. And then they're like, there's one other way you can get AIDS. We're fucking doing heroin. And you wonder why all the music from the 90s is like, and I can't understand why I sleep all day. You want to know how bad it was in the 90s? You know why we were all so gloomy in the 90s? Because we couldn't fuck, couldn't do hair, everything was, okay? And the single greatest indicator, I think, was when that Crash Test Dummy song. Remember that shit? That was the chorus. Oh, fuck it, that's it. You know what? I don't care. But that was AIDS. This is worse. This is worse. It's like, well, how do you get COVID? Well, you can get it by touching stuff, or by licking stuff or eating stuff, or you can inhale it. And whatever you do, don't open your eyes. like there's no way to not get it. Like, the only way you can't get it is like through your toes. But if you touch your toes and then touch your face, you're going to get it. So you even get it from your toes. This shit's fucking evil. But you can listen to whatever you want. Here's the one hole. This is your COVID-free hole. You can't breathe. You can't see. You can't taste. You can't smell. But you can listen to anything you want. Not getting AIDS there. Or COVID. Or AIDS. I think that one works both ways. And that's the thing, we were doing nothing, sitting around, and I gotta tell you, I mean, for me, because I was enjoying it, kind of felt like I retired. I mean, it did. It felt like I retired, but without having to go through all the trouble of becoming successful first. Usually, if you want to retire, you gotta, do something right and make a lot of money. And then you get to a certain age, you're like, I'm just gonna sit here and coast on all my money. I just fucking retired. I just retired. And the government was like, here, we're gonna give you $600 extra a week to retire. I'm like, great. And I knew I had retired when I found myself, I showered, I shaved, and got dressed to mail a letter. And don't get me wrong, it was definitely something I could have taken care of online. But I was like, oh, no. This is what I'm doing today. That was my whole to-do list, was mailing that letter. I took my time. Oh, man, and I looked sharp. And here's the thing. I didn't even go into the post office. I just went to the box out front. And it was like, here you go. And they had changed it to be COVID friendly. You didn't have to do this anymore. You just like that. So that was a lovely thing to find out. But I'll tell you this, you do learn things. You do learn things through this process. I mean, we're shut down. Even if you want to go places, no place to fucking go. You know what I mean? We're still basically in quarantine. And I'll tell you, a lot of things, there were some real things changed, and there were some lessons learned. I think one of the biggest changes was those delivery windows from Amazon, right? Remember Prime was like 2 days? Remember that? Did you remember the first time you saw a window that made you like, what? Remember? I remember it was like, expect this to be delivered between April 19th and August 23rd. I was like, what? Things got real loose during the quarantine. I don't know if you went driving around. I don't know if this happened in your neighborhood, but in my neighborhood, people started treating stoplights like stop signs. Did you see this? Like, I saw it, so many other people would be sitting there at a stoplight like, what the fuck am I waiting for? And just fucking drive. I was like, oh, I guess we're doing that now. But I did learn a few things. I did rediscover my bicycle. I did. I learned, and let's have a drink really quickly. We've been going, what are we going, about 25 minutes now? I'm having fun, man. This is a good time. I don't know if you guys, I hope you guys are enjoying it. Oh, and if you guys would like to tip me, I'm on Venmo and Cash App at the Greg Wilson. If you would like to tip me for the show, I appreciate it. Obviously, I love doing this, and that's always been the secret of being a comedian, is that the goal is always to get paid, but the truth is they know, comedy clubs know, we would do it for free. You pay us for the travel. You pay us to show up. That's what you're paying us for. Because this we love. I love this so much. And, you know, even, it was so funny, even setting this up. Here, let's have a drink. I keep rambling on because there's, you know, no audience except for my wife. My lovely wife, Summer, is here. We're going to talk about her in just a minute. She's the big closer. Whoa. But I did learn some things. I rediscovered my bicycle, which here's the thing. I bought a bike. I bought a pretty nice bike like 2 years ago. And I rode it like one time. And I was like, fuck this. I'm not, because riding in Los Angeles, it's like riding on an obstacle course, but you're the obstacle. Okay? And no one's trying real hard to not hit you. But during the quarantine, during the pandemic, when all the traffic was kind of gone away there, I mean, it was like Christmas every day. There was nowhere. I was just riding my bike. Just like, oh, by the way, did you see me do this up here? This is the Zoom version of the act out. When I do it on Zoom, I have to do it up here. But we're here now, so I can do it like I'm riding a real bike. But it's true. During the quarantine, I'm just riding around my bike, just like, this is the best apocalypse ever. I'm having a blast, dude. I mean, and I say riding my bike. I don't call it cycling because I'm not putting on Spanx for this. But it has been magnificent. And now, you know, we have to wear the masks. And the masks, how did this become? It was so stupid. This is a political issue. How did our common enemy become like, you're like, I'm not, whatever. But I have to say, listen, you know, if you're a butterface, this is your time. This is your time to shine, you crazy diamond. Right? You're all covered up right here. This hot body's just doing the work. Right? Listen, you just went from an everyday 6.8 to a quarantine 11. Okay? And don't get me wrong, I'm jealous. I would love to be a butterface. I'm a nothing face. I have nothing, like, there's no part of me that you could cover up that suddenly I would look good. Okay? I have to wait till we go like full Sharia law, you know? And even then, people will be looking at me, oh, he's got kind of beady eyes. Like, I still would. Like, my range only goes from 4 to 6. That's it. I'm never going to be up there. One of the funniest things that happened was obviously when social distancing really first, you know, the stores, I don't know where they are where you are, but here in LA, they were very good about putting down little markers for the 6 feet thing. Because at first, people had no idea how to gauge it. We were all just, you know, and you know men in measurements. So we're like, this is 6 feet, right? So we were waiting outside to go into Walgreens because we had a hot tip that the supply truck came on Thursday night. So if you wanted the good wipes, you had to be there first thing Friday morning. Rumor had it they were getting toilet paper. So we're all lined up. Store, and it doesn't even open till 9. That was the other thing. Everybody got quarantine lazy too. Like places that were open from like 6 a.m. to midnight were suddenly open from like 9 a.m. to 4. They're like, quarantine. Okay. So we're in line, and I'd been on a phone call. My wife had gotten in line, and then I came up, and I'm finishing the phone call, and I get in line next to my wife. And I stand there, and I make a joke to her. I'm like, is this 6 feet? This is 6 feet, right? Okay. So we're standing there in line, and a woman turns around, and she looks at us, and she starts going like this, like, and we're like, and we're looking around like, who the fuck is she? And she's looking at, and we're like, what's the problem? And she goes, 6 feet. You need to separate 6 feet. And I look at her and I'm like, this is my wife. And that's when it dawned on me. It's a huge compliment to me. Because for her, my wife is so much better looking than me that there was no universe where we should be together. She knew I was just some quarantine troll who had crawled up out of the Walgreens hedges to, to abscond with this adorable woman. And that was the thing. And that was the thing. That's when I realized, through all this, I think the biggest lesson I learned is that I did marry my best friend. I really did. And let me tell you something. I'm one of those guys that, like, when I would hear other guys say that, I would just be like, you fucking pussy. Yeah, your wife's your best friend. There's always that old thing. It's like, all right, you get 2 tickets to the Super Bowl. Who you taking with you? It's not your fucking wife. She's not your fucking best friend. But I realized through this that I did. I married my best friend. My wife is my best friend. Because we love spending time together. We laugh all the time. We always check in with each other. We're always hanging out. And everybody knows you don't fuck your best friend. You don't do it. You don't fuck your best friend. And now I know what that means. Okay? That means I enjoy her company so much, I'm done fucking her. We don't. We don't fuck, man. You don't fuck your best friend, okay? Them's the rules. That's how I know is my best friend. Because I enjoy hanging out with her that fucking much. I don't even mind that she doesn't fuck me anymore. And that's a joke. It's a joke. That's how you know it's a joke. Anyways, well, that's it, guys. That's the new stuff.